Hello again, and welcome back to Vegas Valley Treasures. My name is Kenneth. I am your host, your hand model, and the self-proclaimed Vegas Valley Treasure Hunter. In our last little clip, we had a necklace that had all of these lovely little beads on it, and it was falling apart in the package. So what I've decided is we're going to put together, if we can, and this is going to be interesting because I've got the camera right in front of my face. We'll try to put together a necklace with the beads that were there. I've got a nice length of chain, and I'm adding in the lobster claw. Yes, I finally found my little bag of lobster claws, and a couple of jump rings for either side so that we can make this work. And what I've done is I've divided out the beads into a format that I wanted to present them. And I was thinking that these three, because the larger beads would be the centerpiece of the necklace, and we could use the 4 beads here and the silver beads to divide them out. So we'll put a silver bead on either side of these and use these to divide out the larger beads, and then we'll put these on the sides, and that's why I've divided these into two equal piles so that we can have them on either side. So the first thing we need to do is actually put some jump rings on one end of this necklace so that things don't fall apart as we're working, and we can just thread everything on. And so what we'll do is I'll open up a tiny little jump ring here so that I can thread it through the chain. Let's see, where does this guy open? He is there. So we need to get to either side of the opening and turn so that we can get the jump ring open. Now it's the fun part, trying to get this through the tiny little piece of chain at the end, which is always a challenge for me, as you can see. Never plays nice, and now it's even more difficult because I'm at a distance from my target here. It's hard to see. Getting older, not appreciating age, but of course it's much better than the alternative. But there is the benefit that I'm more mature and responsible and all that, and apparently I'm in the right place in the right time to have met my lovely girlfriend who appreciates me. Never thought I'd have that in my life again, or at all for that matter. Come on, little chain, you can be nice. Get on the link. I feel like I'm fishing when I'm doing this because I don't want to break the chain, but I do want to thread through that last link. Am I in the right position here? Let's see. No, that would make sense. So the opening is right under my finger there, and the last link is right there, and just like that. Very good. And we'll pass a larger link, a larger jump ring through it, so we have an easier time of it. And we'll close this tiny little jump ring. Okay, let's make sure that there's no gap, and there doesn't seem to be very much of one, but I still want to close it a little further, just to make sure things don't fall apart. Better. And we'll check the larger jump ring as well. Very good. Okay, so let's grab the other side of the chain and start threading. Now this little chain is about 2 millimeters. It's actually small enough to go through, I'm hoping, all of the beads involved. We'll certainly find out shortly. This can be a bit of a tedious process unto itself, but it's worthwhile in the end. We wind up with something very pretty. My girlfriend complains to me, "Why do you spend so much time working on these pieces and not sell them for very much?" I'm like, well, I don't think they are that bad as far as price. I mean, generally, most of my pieces start at like $2. Um, but I do put a lot of time and love into creating them when I do upcycle like this. Um, but the majority of my pieces I'm just buying and cleaning up and getting them on their way. Uh, I've also been asked why did I get into jewelry? Um, I was a business analyst for, wow, like, let's see, 17, 19, almost 26 years, 27 years. Yeah. Um, and I unfortunately had a bad experience in my last company, but that doesn't explain the jewelry. The jewelry came about because I like to go to garage sales, and I went to one time and bought a few pieces of jewelry I thought were pretty and all that, and got home and found out that one of them was sterling silver. And I said to myself, I can get sterling silver on the cheap? You've got to be kidding me. And I got addicted. I just kept buying more and more pretty pieces of jewelry to add to the collection. I mean, large majority of it is just costume, but they're pretty pieces. And every once in a while, there'd be a pretty piece that I'd like, and I'd put it aside or set it up for the expectation of having somebody special in my life, just as a gift or something to give to a friend. For the pieces that I wasn't thrilled with or didn't want to keep in my collection, I just sell them on the side. And didn't really fuel my economy or anything. But it made me happy to do that, and made other people happy to buy some inexpensive pieces that they loved. And it turned out some of them were really expensive pieces that I had no idea what I was selling. But hey, you never know. And I don't begrudge anyone in buying something that they liked from me, because that was the idea. In the meantime, I've learned a lot about how to identify pieces of jewelry, and I've although my eye does not really see everything that people consider to be beautiful. There were some pretty boho pieces apparently that I thought were, uh, for lack of a better term, things that I should be putting in my scrap pile. And I was informed that, oh, these are very expensive custom pieces that are made by an artist. I'm like, okay, I get it. Some people like different things. It's just not my cup of tea. And I'm glad I didn't break them. But I was thinking about it. My good friend Cupcake was the one who informed me. She's very knowledgeable about costume jewelry, and apparently I'm not. But I still like dealing in it. I still like buying it, and I still like making people happy, so it works out for everyone involved. And this is going to be the fourth time I'm trying to thread this one bead, and there it goes finally. Ooh. I'll tell you. So let me know in the comments what you think. I've done a few repair jobs on things on stream already, but this is the first time I'm actually basically creating from the bottom up, where I'm putting together everything. Okay, so these little tiny silver beads are too small to be a part of this, unfortunately. They won't fit onto this 2mm chain, so we'll put those to the side and we'll just deal with what we got here. Okay, so find. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you. And just like that, see? Not quite as crazy as I sound sometimes. But when it's all said and done, we'll have a pretty piece to put out for somebody. And unlike the original piece, this will be an original by me rather than by the company that created the piece that broke. I mean, I'm not shaming them for putting together some plastic pieces that became brittle. I'm just saying that this is now a Kenneth original from VegasValleyTreasures, and the silly $2 price I'm going to put on it is more than I would expect anyone to be unhappy with. Well, that didn't come out right. I would expect somebody to be happy with a custom piece that's been designed by me for $2. Go figure. Oh, I didn't put together the concept of the colors, but I'm definitely putting in the work to make this thing come together again. And all said and done, out of that one package, I'll have a few extra beads left over, which is not a bad thing. And we'll have a beautiful chain and bead necklace. And all I had to add was the chain. A couple of jump rings on either side, and the lobster claw, which I was having problems finding on the previous video. Turns out they were right in front of me, I just didn't see them. I'm not doing as well as I should be on keeping organized. My girlfriend will definitely attest to that. It looks like, as she put it, it looks like a jewelry bomb or a glitter bomb, in her words, exploded in my home. There's just so much everywhere. Which is, again, why I've gotten into trying to get them out of my home and find them new loving homes. If you like what you see, let me know. If there's something that I'm doing wrong or something that you think should change in the way I'm doing my videos, please leave it in the comments so that I can learn. This is the, fifth video I'm making. I finally got the sound to work right after 3 videos. Turned out that the gain on the new condenser mic that I bought was at a minimum, and now it's not. And so I'm not pulling the sound off of my computer, my laptop, but rather now through the condenser mic where it should be. And hopefully this will sound better. I know I listened to the previous video I did, and it did sound a lot better than the first 3. I'm half tempted to take the first 3 down. However, I don't want to deprive anyone of the content and give you the opportunity to watch something different that you haven't seen before. I'm certainly going to make more videos of me going through jewelry. I've got tons to go through still. Okay, so let's get an idea of what this is going to look like. There we go. So when we even it out, it'll just look like that. Very good. We just need to put on the second set of jump rings and the lobster claw, and we're in business. Then we'll wrap everything up with this piece. Okay, where's my opening? This is probably the craziest piece of working with such small chain, is A, opening up these little fragile rings, B, threading it through the chain without losing the piece or breaking the chain. That's good right there. These chains, I got in a nice spool and used for making lots of little projects. I've got 2mm, 3mm, and 4mm chain. And then I've got a whole bunch of chains from other pieces that were either broken or I didn't like the way they looked, and I took apart to make into something else. So I've got a bunch of naked chains and a bunch of charms that I need to match up. I actually asked my girlfriend for assistance on that. She liked the idea. We sat down and we were going through some stuff. She found a little charm that she wanted for her collection of miniature furniture. It happens to be a tiny chair. I put it on a chain. I'm going to have to take it off because I need to give it to her. So she can add it to her little curio cabinet of miniature things. Okay, so let's open up the larger link, larger jump link, little jump link. We'll feed through the lobster claw. We'll feed through the tiny link I put on here. If you're wondering why I put the tiny link on before the larger link, the wire that is the larger link won't fit through the chain here. I need these tiny little links in order to actually attach it to the chain properly. I don't mind. Okay. So let's grab a card to put this on. I know it may seem a little over the top fastidious or to do this, but I like the presentation of putting my jewelry on cards when appropriate. And it gives me also the opportunity to test the lobster claw, make sure it's working properly, and this one is. Okay, so I just need to even this thing out a little bit. And that should be right there enough to do it. Let's see. So the chain sits there. We need to move everything just a little bit. And of course I've made it uneven to the other side. I wonder if I should put a little link in at the end of the beads to keep it from doing that. We'll think about that for a second. A little better. There we are. It's nicely evened out. I put a little piece, a little link right here and right here to keep this thing from moving relative to the chain. That might be helpful. What do you think, guys? Well, we've got a couple minutes. We can try. I'm trying to keep these videos under 20 minutes to keep it easier to upload and digestible segments. Let's see, how does this look? What do you think, guys? I think it's a pretty piece. Well, actually, let's see it on a bust rather than on a wall. Yes, I have all the accoutrement for making my jewelry look good and presentable. See, that's pretty. I like that. For some reason, there was an odd number of these orange beads. I think I'm just going to keep it like that. It can sit however it sits. Okay, so let's bag it up and put it in with Grogu so that he knows it's ready for him to sell it. No, I'm sorry, Grogu doesn't really sell my stuff. I sell my stuff. And if you're wondering where to find any of it, it'll eventually find its way onto my Whatnot store. Either I will sell it as a Buy It Now section piece, which you can find at any time, or it'll be one of the auction pieces. I actually do live auctions on Whatnot as well. Let's see. So from the last video, just to show it off, I actually, since I found my my lobster claws, I finished the necklace with the leaf that was there. Put it all together. And so this is what it looks like as a final product. It's a really long necklace. And let's set it here. You can see it looks much better than having the bead and the tassel and having this thing sideways and all that. It makes for a much prettier presentation. But once again, thank you very much for joining me here. If you want to find any of my pieces, or if you're just interested in purchasing some jewelry for the holidays to give as gifts, go find me on Whatnot. It's Vegas Valley Treasures. Once again, Vegas Valley Treasures. It's one word on Whatnot. Still Ken, or Kenneth. I'm still your host and hand model, and I bid you adieu. Have a good one until the next video.